And we are live. If you are wondering what that video that I've played the last 2 weeks are, that is my sizzle reel. Those are some of the projects I've worked on over the last 10 years. We don't really have a sizzle reel for this chat yet, but I kind of thought, why not start things up on a kind of an exciting moment. You will notice that I do have my goddaughter, Bree, is here with me this evening. But also, most importantly, is joining me via Skype this evening is John Adam Gallegos. Did I pronounce the last name right?
So it depends on where you're coming from. I'm getting some feedback from you. Go ahead and mute your video so I can hear just you. But it depends on where you're coming from. If it is a Spanish name, but if you're in America, it'll be Gallegos. If you're Spanish, it'll be Gallegos. The LL gets that little bit of the Y sound. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Are you still getting feedback from me right now? The video should be stopped and over.
A little bit in the background there.
Okay, that's really weird. I don't think anything on my browser is playing.
What's going on, Mr.
That's
Debris?
telling me to stop smacking my lips. Just for you, Matt.
Oh, Mr. Diviso.
So, yeah,
problems.
I don't think anything's. I can't hear anything. You're still hearing that?
Well, you know what? It might be on my end. It might be on my end. Let me double check really quick.
I'll wait.
Yeah, no, I think the problem is solved. I think that was my problem. Oh, what's up, Mr. Drewski?
All right.
We're good to go, Aaron. That was my problem. Sun's out, guns out. Whoa!
All right, so let's take a look really quickly, see who we've got in the live chat. We've got me, we've got Matt, we've got Mark My World. Thank you. Welcome, Mark. We've got Ujval. We've got Ivan Vicious Goose Senpai. It confused me when you do that. We got DJ
awesome
Gamer.
name.
We've got Abuela Anti-Spam. We've got Lunar. All right, who else do we have in here? And then Drew's in here. Excellent. And then Dick Millslagle. That's actually Bree. That's her. She's logged in on under her. That's the Joker.
She's a rascal. Here.
Yeah, she is a rascal. And Cassie's in. Welcome, Cassie. Thank you.
Cassie, what's going on, Cassie?
Well, I see Drew in here as well. It says, "What up, ladies?"
What?
It's the power couple. They're in chat.
So, okay. Well,
I love behind you.
She is like so fascinated with the fact that there's a delay between what's happening here and what's actually streaming, because she's watching the stream on her phone right here.
So it's funny you say that, Aaron. It's funny you say that because my nephew, when we do the live streams for the gaming, we actually tested it out, and every time we did it, it was like an 11 to 12 second delay. And so he's like, I'm like, so are you watching it? He's like, no, I'm not watching it. I'm like, dude, why aren't you watching it? You want me to fail at life? He's like, no, I'm watching you in your game right now because it's live and it's real time. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess you're right.
Yeah, the first day I was like really trying the software out. We were trying a couple of different settings, and at first we're like, oh, there's a delay. Let's try and change some settings to eliminate the delay. And then it actually caused video issues. So now I'm just like, okay, the delay is better than not having, bad.
It's not a big deal. It could be worse, to be completely honest with you. I think YouTube is getting it down pretty good. I mean, all things considered, there's issues in the platform. It's a great platform, but I mean, nothing is going to be perfect, So, embrace the horror at this point.
Embrace the horrors?
Embrace the horror. The horror.
Oh, the horror. Okay.
No,
I was like, because you can get diseases if you're not wearing protection when you embrace a horror.
True that. No, the horror.
And I apologize for my underage audience in the room. Like this one right here.
Shame on you.
She's questioning you. Shame on you, Aaron. How dare you? How dare you?
So one of the things I'd love to just talk about is how much I love your voice.
Oh, man. My voice. You know what? it's hard, even just like starting off, just starting off vlogging myself. It was, I mean, like anybody else, hates to listen to their voice. Me especially, because me, I'm just so nasally and so like, oh, I never want to hear myself again. There came a certain point where I had to be like, I need to cut that off and like just like dismount from the hatred that I have from that and just accept that there's audio and it's audible, if that makes any sense to you. But thank you.
Well, the first video I watched was the one where you were like, it's like Christmas time in Chicago, and it literally was like something out of like the Travel Channel, and I'm like, why are you not getting voiceover gigs?
Oh man, so that was interesting because I did my
Matt just said this live stream is sponsored by Dove. Keep it clean.
Keep it clean. Super fresh. But no. So when I did the Christmas video, believe it or not, like I shot that in like 3 days that weren't consecutive. I kind of spliced things together a little bit, and I was like, okay, I don't know what I have yet. I shot. I didn't know what the story was, and I wanted to kind of capture my love for Christmas and that time of the year, just because I really, really love it, and kind of wanted to wrap it up with something really, really personal that happened at that time. And man, that was a really, really hard time for me. Lots of crazy stuff happened in there, but I was like, how do I make this a story? And I'm like, well, let's get a little personal here. And so literally grabbed my DSLR with my shotgun mount, my shotgun microphone, excuse me. And I was like, well, let's get a little personal and try to reach some people and put some I like to call it emotional nutrition into their lives. So something to take away from the video and bring into their own lives to reflect on, their own stuff, what's going on with them.
Hold on, I'm having trouble transitioning. I hit the wrong thing. I thought I was transitioning back to the duel, and I transitioned back from your camera back to your camera. So I'm still, guys, I'm getting a hang of this software still. It's kind of, but anyway, so yeah, we've kind of talked about the vlogging is all about telling a story in some way. I remember we're talking about in our little chat recently, we're talking about, it's all this crazy mismatch of like cut here, cut there, and Matt was like, well, geez, how bad does my stuff suck? And we're like, yeah, you kind of have that craziness, but you're still telling a story. And
correct,
you have to be able to tell a story. Casey Neistat put out a video recently, how to vlog like Casey Neistat. And
jeez,
it was most of the technical things easy to do, or might already be doing, but it was really the big thing was all about how you fit a 3-act structure into your day and what you did.
Yeah. No, I agree with you completely. And I'm a big fan of Casey, and I'm a big fan of Casey because not for his formats, not for the allure that he portrays on screen, but for the story that he has, because it's very, very similar to mine. It's having the love to tell a story using the camera as a medium and coming from something to nothing. So for me, it's like when I see stuff on YouTube, I see a lot of stuff on YouTube that's very, very poppy, very trendy, and it'll get a lot of likes. It'll get a lot of views. It'll generate subscribers because it's cool, right? The kind of problem / struggle that I go through is how can I integrate that cool with something that an audience or a community or people can take away and bring into their own lives. And yes, Matt, Mr. DeVizzle said it best right there. Story is king. How can you make a story with that? And I am a big fan of the 3-act structure. Beginning, middle, ends. You have a character, put the character up into a tree, throw rocks at your character, and then get your character down. And that's a story. So how can you make a story? How can you put something into other people's lives? How can you relate with them and have something for them to take away for them to benefit for the better, you know, I think that's huge. I think that's what I want to do, and I know that's what you want to do also. I want to see more of
Yeah.
that on YouTube, you know?
And that's what I think was missing from my channel until recently, and it wasn't anything that I think I was realizing was missing, is the entire aspect of community. And and that was
Sure.
why, that was the tack I took with the reaction to the Mims Life car giveaway was, well, I'm seeing community for me. I'm seeing, this is about giving back to community, but this is also three different channels coming together to do something that on their own they couldn't do. That
Yeah.
if Casey Neistat just like, hey, I'm going to give away a car, it's like, hey, Casey's giving away a car. But it's like, hey, these three channels banded together to give away a car. So and that's what I'm loving of the fact that this chat room feels like really full right now. I'm loving that everyone's in here communicating with us as we're talking,
Yes.
communicating with each other. Unfortunately, Drew doesn't have the popcorn. I think Cassie's going to make him sleep on the couch tonight.
Well, so we already know that Cassie drinks all the wine, so Drew won't have any of that coming.
But yeah, so the community aspect coming in, it's been really interesting as I've been doing my channel. When I relaunched in like October-ish, I had 100 subscribers left over from, I hadn't uploaded anything 2.5 years, so I really think that most of those were stale. So they weren't really. I was, even though I had 100, I think I was kind of starting over with 0. And then I was paying for like $10 a day on AdWords and I was getting a lot of views. I'd get a few subscribers every day, but my engagement was horrible. My watch time was horrible. I wasn't getting comments from those people, at least not valuable comments. Every once in a while, I'd get someone comment like, "Notch, are you Notch?" And that's just annoying to me. The creator of Minecraft. They think I'm the creator of Minecraft because I'm wearing a fedora. But
I do love your fedora, though, Aaron.
Thank you. I would be wearing it now, but I think it would be like causing these shadows on my face because I've got this light up here, and I'm like,
and no
one would be able to see my eyes.
Not a lot of people can pull off the fedora, believe me. I walked into a store one day. It was like the Men's Warehouse, and I'm like secretly going to the fedora / like top hat section and like looking around to make sure nobody looks at me. And I'm like, I pick a hat off and I put it on my head, and I'm like, can I do this? Like, can I pull this off like every day? And it just like, I was like, no, I can't. And I wish I could. I really wish I could. So, man, you got the heft for it.
I just have to struggle with the preconceived notions that people have of, like, I will have people come up to me and go, "Milady," and try and get me to repeat it. And I was glad I talked to this guy afterward, but there's this guy and his girlfriend walking by at VidCon, and they did that to me. It was like the third person, and I just go, "That's not funny." And I just kept walking.
You just punched them in the face?
No. No, I just said, "That's not funny," and kept walking. They're like, "Oh, sorry," and they kept walking. And then we ran into each other later, and they apologized. I'm like, "I'm sorry, I may have overreacted too. This is like, it's a little sensitive because I've been wearing this fedora for years, since before the neck beard and all those like douchebags wearing fedoras things came out. And I feel like I have to fight against that now. I'm like, I'm just being me, and I'm not these stereotypes." But I feel like every once in a while I have to fight against that, and so I got a little punchy with this guy, and luckily we talked afterward and kind of cleared the air.
Just be you, roll with it, joke with them, and you don't have to justify yourself to anybody, man. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. You can rock the fedora. That's a huge accomplishment. I swear, I wish I could. I wish I could look like Indiana Jones and be like, just like put it on.
So Matt just called it a fedorka, and Cassie said, "You're just hating because you can't pull off the fedora."
I'm not hating at all. I'm embracing Aaron on this. Are you kidding me? I'm jealous.
Hey,
I gotta wear this
John,
hat.
you can embrace me any way you want.
Right on, brother.
So You know, we were going on some tangent. I was about to tell a story. We got sidetracked because of the fedora, and I don't remember what the original point was. So I think we should make a new point.
Let's start something new. We'll start off
Okay.
fresh. Let's get a freshie going here. What do we got? What do we got?
Well,
So
let's talk about collaborations. I hear you just had one with our dear friend Justin
yeah,
Bravo.
yeah, that was that was interesting because so so me and Justin Bravo, we met in geez maybe like 4 or 5 or 6 months ago, something like that. I can't remember. But we met in a group on Facebook that was basically a bunch of fellow YouTubers collaborating, as a whole lot of other people pretty much do, and it's like networking. You meet with people, you want to see what's working, what's not working, things like that. Check out their work, give constructive criticism. Yo, JB in the house, what's going on, buddy?
Yeah, I just
Um,
noticed him in there.
yeah. So we were talking for
He's
a
not like
while.
still there. He's not gonna like sneak up behind you in the camera, is he?
Oh, wouldn't that be hilarious? No, he's gone. He was gone today. Uh, so we were talking for a while, and we're like, dude, we got to do a collaboration video. I'm like, yeah, but we got to do something like kind of really, really cool. So what should we do? He's like, I don't know, but I'll bring the boosted, and we'll have some fun with it, and this, that, and the other. I'm like, dude, it would be awesome. And I would like just watch Back to the Future. I'm like, dude, I'll tether me onto your boosted board, and we'll just go around town, man, and we'll just go crazy with it, right? He's like, yes, let's do that. And we joked about it for a while. Like it was a joke. It wasn't like a real thing until like the time came where he like decided to come here. And then he's like, here, dude, I'll be here X amount of time because I'm here for this. And I'm like, dude, let's experiment. Let's actually do this, have something fun for the audience. He's like, all right, I'm down. So, he's here, and he only has a little bit of time because he did his rock and roll marathon on that day. We met up maybe like 4 or 5 o'clock, like yesterday, right? And so I got in. I go into the Knickerbocker hotel. Awesome hotel, right? Like the accommodations are fantastic. I'm like, oh my gosh, JB staying here. This is awesome. I go to the bar. I grab a beer. I'm just waiting for him. He's finishing up an edit. Comes downstairs, gives me a big hug, and like we're talking, and like we didn't even start like filming anything yet. We were just like talking and talking and talking and just like going back and forth and going back and forth. And I kind of had that problem all day just because like the dynamic just talking and just like picking each other's brains was super fantastic. So like, dude, we gotta work. Like we gotta shoot stuff. It's like, oh yeah. So, we hop onto to Lakeshore Drive eventually. We tether up and we just start going and just had an awesome time. So we go to Navy Pier, and we start kind of getting a little bit harassed by the security and the police and stuff like that, which is weird because originally I asked them like, hey, we're gonna do a little like skateboarding here. Is that cool with you guys? With these two cops who are sitting in the car, and they're
Were
like,
they
yeah, no
actual cops
problem.
or security?
They were actual cops. They were actual
Okay.
CPD, Chicago Police Department. They were actual cops. They were sitting in the car and they were cool. They're like, yeah, just don't get involved with traffic. I'm like, no problem. So they had no problem with that. Then we walked in. We started like talking about drones and stuff like that, and we had our skateboards, and there was this one lady who was like deep in like this tunneled area where like buses and like just a bunch of tourist like attractions or tourist like transportation comes out, and they're yelling at us, get off the skateboard. We weren't even on skateboards at this point, right? So we walked down a little bit further, and we got our boards, and everybody's they're looking at us. Security is just kind of like just keeping at a distance, like looking at us, like how that is. And
Yeah.
until eventually we put the cameras down because we wanted to get a shot. And I would be a liar if I didn't say I wanted to get a really nice shot in Navy Pier on tethered on the boosted. And before we do that, we're ready to go. We're ready to put our. I'm like, JB, we got to do this like quick. All right. So we put our cameras down. We hit record. And then in my peripheral vision, I see this security guard and this cop coming. And I'm like, here they come, Justin. And they're like maybe 20 feet away from us. I'm like, just stay cool. And we handled it fine. And we're like, they start talking about drones and stuff like that. And I'm like, we don't have any drones. I don't know what you're talking about. We're off our skateboards. We're just doing a
Now,
little bit of
now,
shooting.
did you have drones in your bags or no?
there may or may not have been one drone involved that never came out of the bag.
Right.
But I'm just going to say that. Nevertheless, like we were completely fine. Like we didn't break any rules or anything like that. There's
Right.
no signs posted, no drones, no skateboards, nothing like that. It
And
was just
was
kind of
this
rude.
area public or private?
It's public. No, it's public. It's very, very
So
public.
you actually could have flown your drone, and they couldn't have
Uh,
said anything legally.
you know what I think what it was? I think it was a very, very like Navy Pier was heavily populated yesterday. And I
Mm.
think that's where they kind of came in with their gripe a little bit. But just the way that they handled the situation was less than professional. So I mean, I love Navy Pier to begin with, but essentially going back to what you said, it was a lot of fun because we wanted to do this for a while, and the video came out, I think pretty much super fun, and I think people are enjoying it. So the collaboration was fantastic. I think so.
Yeah, I know. I enjoyed the video. That one little beat, I can't talk. That little bit about the security guards harassing you just was like, I hate when I hear that, especially when they came out of nowhere saying, "What drone? Drone? Where's your drone?"
Yeah, it looks
And
like JB double checked, and it
yeah,
was a it was a no-fly zone. We could have flown. We could have.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. The rules are so finicky with drones. So
Ujval
man,
drone flying is not illegal. There are certain areas that are no-fly zones, like over a stadium while a game is on, or like over airports or any national park. Theoretically, any national anything. We talked about this with Justin last week. That supposedly I was told actually by someone at DJI during VidCon, they said any national park, monument, or forest is off limits. But I'm like, but I'm only seeing the parks showing up as no-fly zones in my app. So what gives? And I was able to fly at Carrizo, and now got this footage. I'm like, I don't know whether I should put it in my vlog or not because am I going to get in trouble? After the fact now because I've heard that happening.
there was somebody else that I speak with on YouTube who recently just flew, but they posted some footage. I'm not going to say any names. They posted some footage and they tagged. It was I can't remember exactly what it was. It was a lake or just like a I can't remember what it was exactly, but they tagged the place of interest in their post, and they kind of responded back saying that it's illegal to fly here and you shouldn't be posting this and blah 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 blah. So it kind of scared them a little bit, but I was like, you know what? Don't make it an issue until it becomes an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know I'm eventually planning on getting my Part 107 just so I can, like I was telling the gal with DJI, I was like, whether or not just putting it in your vlog is, commercial, that's kind of a gray area. She goes, no, if you've got, monetization up, that's commercial. I'm like, is it really? Is it though? But
That's a fine line to walk as well because the originally, and it's funny. So originally, when I started getting into vlogging, and I'll segue into this, I'll probably forget why. Originally, when I started getting into vlogging, I do that. I go off on tangents on this extreme long line, and I'm like,
so,
wait a
so
second.
everyone in the chat, this is going to be a 4-hour live stream.
Oh man. But all right, let me break it down for you. Originally, why I started getting into vlogging was because I went on YouTube like in 2014. I was going to Disney World of all places, right? And I wanted to like get myself into that whole mode. So I wanted to look at the rides and see if they had like walkthroughs and things like that in Orlando. And I found a couple people who I really liked. And I wanted to emulate that feeling. So my original vlogs, which do not exist on YouTube anymore, were me at Orlando in Disney World, right? And so I recently heard like this one Disney vlogger who was like, yeah, we're trying to get into our own stuff now because we don't know how much longer Disney is going to allow us to monetize on YouTube because I don't know if they're going to consider that like commercial and like their own property, and like who knows what could happen with that. So like that line between monetization and commercial work, where do you draw that? You know, like who is to say? Because technically you are gaining some money from AdSense, how little as it might be or big as it might be, but it's still kind of commercial, don't you think?
To an extent, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I was like, it's a gray area. How much are you doing? But then there's other people who are like, I mean, did someone hire you to go out there and do it? No. But I mean, yeah, it's a lot of us, like, we don't consider our vlogs to be amateur necessarily. We do consider them to be at least somewhat professional. I know I try and consider my blog or my vlog somewhat professional. You know, someone looks at this, yes, I do consider this a professional camera. That's
Correct.
why, you know, when I went to that one bar and they're like, you can't bring this in, no professional equipment. I'm like, well, then I'm not coming in because I'm not leaving it in the car. You know, I'm not
Right.
going to lie and say it's not. You know, at the same time, then yeah, I lose out maybe on a few opportunities, but you know, I do treat my channel professionally.
Yeah, of
And
course. As you should.
yeah.
As you should. And you know what? They missed out on what could have been free promotion for them.
So sidetrack really quickly. So Ujval said, could we be able to see a vlog with Justin, Aaron, Mike, Mim's family, John, the Mr. DeVizzle all in one?
Oh my gosh.
And Matt just told about our MTV reality vlog house.
Yeah, MTV did that already. It was called The Real World, like in the 90s.
But it wasn't with
The
vloggers. We got to do it again
no.
with all vloggers.
Can you imagine all of us like with our cameras like, so I'm getting really tired of Aaron right now because, you know, I can't wear fedoras and he just got a closet full of fedoras and he's taking up my space and I need my space here. Justin Bravo's got all his sunglasses in my drawers and I got no space and this is really bothering me.
Or it's like, you know what? I told John not to touch my freaking fedora collection.
But it looks so good.
Oh,
Good stuff. No, that would be
all those people walking around with cameras when people are trying to be intimate.
right. It would just be all of us. It would just be all of us with cameras in our faces walking into one another.
Yeah, I actually have. I don't want to go into too much detail on it, but because I'd actually like to be able to maybe pitch this to some brands. But I have this idea for this like sponsored like road trip that I'd love to see happen, and I kind of envision it where it's like 4 vloggers, and maybe like each day a different one of them is kind of handling the camera and telling the story as we're going and doing like what the main point of the road trip is.
Yeah.
So I kind of have, like when I mentioned the vlog house, I'm like, that's not too far off. Like this other idea, like we could theoretically talk to the right people and get something like this sponsored. Maybe a YouTube Red series, who knows? But unfortunately, we probably all would have to be like 100,000 plus for YouTube to go, yeah.
Breeze in the background getting down. You see her dancing and all that stuff?
What are you doing?
I'm making my own YouTube video.
She's making her own YouTube video while I'm live streaming.
I finally got one.
We actually have to set up her YouTube account later so
No,
that...
I got it set up. See?
Oh, okay. Well, we will have to talk about that a little bit more later.
I'm not in trouble. Am I in trouble? Am I in trouble?
No, you're not in trouble.
I just don't know how to do the picture thing. Cause I'm not smart on stuff like this.
Can we handle that after the live stream?
I guess.
No, it has to happen right now.
I'm gonna become a comedian one day.
She wants to be a comedian now.
Do you think I'll be one?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well,
I'm good at it.
you know, if you work hard and tell a lot of jokes and have a good...
you know, it's a
Sounds
lot
like-
harder to make
Oh, you
somebody
see what
laugh than it
podcast
is to
I'm
make
gonna
somebody
have?
cry.
in
my experience, anyways.
John just said it's a lot harder to make someone laugh.
Harder, yes.
A
Have
lot
you met
harder
me?
to make someone laugh than to make someone cry. And actually
I do
knowing...
both.
She does both.
Really easily.
Because she punches you in the face, right? She's like, oh, you help me with my YouTube channel. I'm going to punch you. That is not below me.
So, all right. So, how long have you been vlogging now? I know I started my channel back in '09, but hold on. Your audio is interfering. I started, like we were talking about this in the chat earlier. I started
Yeah.
back in like '09, but then I had like a 2.5 year break because of some bad advice.
Yeah.
Thank you a lot, Maker Studios. Talking about Disney, I signed my contract the day the deal went through, and they became a Disney company.
Oh,
And then they gave
wow.
me some bad advice, and then we were let go with that. But so for 2.5 years, I didn't vlog, and I just picked back up in October. You've been doing this for how long now?
I can relate, man. No, that's fine. You can do this. So I can relate completely. So I made initially. So again, I started off and I was like, I made these like Disney looking videos, right? And so I just kind of like live casted my whole experience there, and it was during like Halloween, and I had these videos, and I was like, oh, they were getting some hints, some hits here and there, but nothing really crazy, and nothing really that was like reflecting me. I was more so emulating what I saw and I kind of testing the water, so to speak. So after that, I wanted to integrate like a short film slash vlog style that I had coming from film school into a vlog and make it good, have some sort of more of that, emotional nutrition to deliver to an audience for them to take away, right? So I made 3 videos and they were very, very drawn out as far as time goes. I would make one, and like 4 or 5 months would go by, and make another one, and again, like even like 8 or 10 months would go by, and that's when I started posting onto these groups where I met a whole lot of people to start networking with, and they're like, "Wow, your stuff is really good. You should do more stuff." I'm like, dude, do you know how long those videos took me to make and edit and put together? Because, yeah. So really going at it, I'm not going to lie. Um, Probably hit it hard only about 3 months ago. Starting, coming in and hitting it 3 times a week, doing live streams, things like that. But as far as like filmmaking goes in general, those 3 videos, the channel started in 2014, where I originally made those first 13 videos that were basically like Disney stuff. I should post those at one time just for funnies. So in my head, like the energy and the thought process involved in all of this has been going on for a very long time. But me actually executing those ideas, maybe just a few months, like really die hard.
Really quickly, I just want to ask those in the chat. I'm checking my stream info, and it's actually telling me my stream is bad. That it's not getting the video data fast enough.
Oh no.
But is anyone really experiencing an issue with this? Or are we okay? I'm kind of monitoring with my phone here, and it seems to be okay. So maybe it'll just be quality issues and not dropout issues. But if there are issues with that, please speak up. I'm gonna have to. I think I'm gonna have to run a very long Cat5 cable over here or something moving forward, or move my setup closer to my router so I can hardwire in, because I'm on the Wi-Fi right now. So
Yeah, Wi-Fi.
but all right. So what do you have coming up in your vlogs? What are you shooting up next? Shooting up next. What are
Are
you
you shooting up next? Jeez. Well, that escalated quickly.
Well then. All right. Drew says it seems to be pretty good. So okay.
Cool. I've got some ideas. I've got some ideas. I've been testing out the live streams, and live streams are a great way to interact with everybody, and it's so different than just throwing a video out, commenting in the comment section, and not doing it in real time. And JB threw a video up, I think just today, about that whole situation. This is like the future. So it's like, how do you bring this to that vlog level, that cinematic level? And I think in the future that's going to be integrated with VR as well. I know YouTube is kind of pushing more VR stuff, and they're trying to make it a little bit more inexpensive for people to purchase VR equipment so they can experience this and be really, really submerged into content creators' ideas and what they create. I think that's where it's going at the moment. So, I mean, literally, the sky is the limit. My imagination goes towards I love fantasy. I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan. I'm a big Harry Potter fan. You know, Game of Thrones, all that stuff.
Are you gonna
That's why I'm
want
always
some
at the.
LARPs?
Oh my gosh, some POV LARPs, right? Um, right. No, but I
You
love
have
that
to start
stuff.
a new channel for that.
Sure, I know. And that's my
I
problem.
am.
That's exactly why my label's called 24 frames of mine. Is because I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, and I love so much of everything that my like slogan became eat, drink, love, and create. And that is kind of a slogan to signify, appreciate all the little things in life because all those little things are really, really what matter. Again, see how I get off topic so quickly? Yeah. It's
I
just
I can relate.
it's just a streamline of where am I going? It just branches off, just branch, 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 branch.
Yeah. And
But
then, but by the end, we'll come right back and go, oh, you remember that story from 20 minutes ago? Let's finish it up.
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Now, I did actually want to talk to you about scheduling because
Yeah.
I think I commented on this to you the other night. Was I noticed that you're trying to do a schedule where you're uploading vlogs specific days of the week and then doing live streams specific days of the week. And I know regular schedule is one of those things that I'm struggling with, which is why I'm setting this. Hey, every Monday night, let's do this show.
No, schedule is so important, and just from what I've learned, it's so what I'm trying to do is I want the community of people who are behind me who have the same values and morals as me and who can connect with me to know when I'm showing up, when I'm going to be there with them, hanging out with them. So it's like I said, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, that's going to be my vlogs days. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm going to live stream like some gaming, just so, again, so everybody knows when you're going to show up, when you're going to be there. I think that's really, really important. I am not the best at adhering to that Monday, Wednesday, and Friday schedule. It's hard, as you know, Aaron. It's a
Yep.
very, very hard thing to do, balancing your personal life with trying to just keep creating and creating. Nevertheless, I think there's something to be said also in your community and wanting to see more of your stuff. To a lesser degree, I'll call it hype. Okay, if they're waiting for something, they when it comes out, I think they'll appreciate it a little bit
Well,
more.
Usual is waiting to see Hudson again, my dog.
Oh boy,
Hudson, quack, Hudson,
right on.
Hudson.
So you're saying I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
no good with you jumping around everywhere.
no. This is a great dynamic because you go off, I go off, and it's just we're all over the place, and it makes for good content. So, Cassie said it right there. I spoke with Drew the other day. Drew wanted a little bit of advice as well, and he's already doing an amazing job. He's got like
Was it
double what I
advice with Cassie?
in his community. No, it was just him. Oh no, I'm not a good person for that. Believe me. But he just wanted like so for you guys out there who are not familiar, he's an artist. Drew's an artist, and just like you, Aaron, you're an artist, and he wanted just like some constructive criticism on his work. And so he called me up and we had the chat for like 30, 45 minutes. And I'm like, well, are you doing this? Are you doing this? Are you doing this? Mind you, like their audience, his community is like double what I have. But I mean, that's just goes back and forth. When I have a problem, I ask him, I ask them, I ask all of our people the same thing. And I'm like, well, do you have a schedule? And he's like, yeah, not so much. And I'm like, I can relate, dude. It's hard,
Yeah.
balancing that real life out. So I'm like, you got to know, your people need to know when you're going to show up. Otherwise, how else, it's just going to be a random time. People are going to be ready for that. It's kind of like it's kind of like television in that sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I know I talked about this last week with Justin, but I had decided I'm going to upload 3 times a week: Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Those were the days I
Yeah.
had decided,
Yeah.
and I thought those were good days. That I also was trying to think of, like, when am I going to have an opportunity to edit, and so I'm like, okay, well, if I shoot on the weekend, I can edit on Monday for Tuesday, and then hopefully I can keep that moving forward. And I hit that once. I hit 3 times a week once before my mom got sick, and
Mm-hmm.
my job
Mm-hmm.
went from me having nothing to do to me
Mm-hmm.
having 3 teams worth of stuff to do, and not having I started getting in trouble because I couldn't finish my work.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden, where I was like, well, I've got nothing to do today, instead of just sitting at my desk, I'm going to take a 2-hour lunch, just because I
Mm.
would just be sitting there anyway. And I was able to, because of that, get up to 3 a week. And I haven't recovered that, and I know that's
Mm-hmm.
part of the problem I've been having. And the more consistent I am, and the more I put out content, and I don't want to just shift from going from vlog to live stream. I want to really have some more of this polished stuff in between, because I think showing that I'm telling a story is just as important, and then interacting in the comments is just as important as jumping into a live stream, either where we're doing this and we're reading comments, or where maybe I'm playing a game, or who knows. And so that I need to get back into that. I just need to figure out what is my schedule, how much can I commit to right now. I still don't think I can do 3 a week right this moment, but
Mm.
I got to be able to do at least one a week, and I'm still not even hitting that.
Yeah.
I'm
You
still
know what it
editing
is?
from April.
But you know what? You've got a good backlog of content that you have that, eventually you'll catch up with. My thing is this, is not only with the schedule, but your channel as a whole, okay? Your channel as a whole is a network. It's like HBO, it's like Showtime, it's like all those things, right? And all the content that you upload. Now imagine you upload twice a week. Just throw that out there, twice a week. Maybe imagine you did that for 10 years and YouTube was still around. Not only for your community to enjoy the content that you upload, but for yourself to look back and see how much you've grown to experience the life that you had 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Imagine, go further now, okay? Imagine YouTube is still around 50, 60 years and you're gone, you're dead. But your content is still there. At the very least, you would have put a footprint, something that you left behind. So think of the short films, think of all the feature films that you want to make, that you've aspired to make, think of all the great stuff that you've done. At the very least, you've left all of this content behind to affect somebody, to reach somebody, and to say, I was here. And
Wow.
somebody in that future to like appreciate that and say, wow. Okay. Now think of Orson Welles, like we talked about earlier. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Think about all those
Well,
people.
I'm
Think
even
about
thinking back
Kubrick.
to old silent
Okay.
movie stars, where there are so many people who have been forgotten because the films have been lost to time.
Yep.
That's wow. You've actually kind of blown my mind tonight thinking about that. The fact that I'm putting content up that could last, that either could be a good thing or a bad thing with certain videos. There's actually one video I looked at the other day. I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe that's still on my channel. I think I need to delete that because it's kind of not PC.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but it gets pretty deep with me. And if you've watched my videos, I get a little bit deep, but I like that. I like philosophy a lot. I like Plato. I love Socrates. So when you go forward again, like I said,
I like
this
to wear
could be
socks with my tees as well.
my tease. When you go ahead, man,
Sorry.
when you go ahead and think about it, at the bare minimum, this could be your vocation. This could be what you leave behind. So what you put, what you upload, all that good stuff, just put your heart into it.
So true. Oh man.
And see how again, we were talking about scheduling and I just went off on this weird tangent again. That's what I do best.
But this was a good tangent. These are the kind of tangents that, bring us, things like down avenues that we wouldn't expect to go, that make us think about things that we wouldn't, otherwise think of. This is, our own vlogging TED Talk.
Oh yeah, I can dig it. Absolutely. Absolutely,
Oh,
man. So now let me ask you, where is
okay.
your channel going in the future?
Where is my
What do you
channel
have
going in
planned?
the future? Well, that's a good question. I do have a vision, and it's the question is, am I going to be able to get there? Is what I have in mind really feasible? The way I try and operate is from I've got an idea of where I'm going to go, and
Hmm.
it's not so rigid that if something comes up that derails it for the better, that I'm not like, no, I have to stay on this path, because
Okay.
sometimes where I want to go is not right. But also the path to get there, I try and I know certain people are like, all right, I want this to happen in 10 years. So in 5 years, this has to happen. In 3 years, this has to happen. In 2 years. And I'm not like that,
Amen to
because
that. Yeah.
if you miss that, then you just set yourself up um, for disappointment. And also, I kind of feel like you're then making that goal a god, and I'm in the business of not making anything a god but God, and
Yeah.
so I try and like, okay, this is what I want, this is where I want to go, but how am I going to get there? What's the journey look like?
Yeah.
Um, Back to the original question, to not go down a rabbit hole. I would like to see, first of all, I'd like to be doing entertainment full time, creating content full time, if that's through my YouTube channel or another way, and the YouTube channel is just kind of documenting that more for fun, then I'm open
Mm.
to that. But if there was some way I could make my YouTube channel full time, and I start, because I have two channels. I've got, this is my really my main channel, my personal channel, and then but I've got my anti Kaiser channel as well. That's my film production company. And so if I were
Mm.
like, if we were to collaborate on something narrative and we were putting it on my channels, it would go on Anti Kaiser. I would then put something
Okay.
here to point to there, because right now I'm bigger than that is. But that's
Sure.
kind of where I'd want the separation. And my channel would kind of end up becoming kind of like the behind the scenes, and showing my creative process of how I um, get uh, get to that finished product, and why I did that. I actually did a live stream of me editing, and that actually proved to be a lot more interesting and popular. I think I only had a couple of people watching, but they were digging like why I picked that. And actually, no, at the end we
Oh
had like four or
wow.
five people, and I'm trying to come down to like, okay, I need to pick a song to edit into my vlog, because I had my assembly of good footage, and
Oh, I
then
hate doing that.
where the rest of it, is it's all based on the music, what how I edit to that song. And I'm going through, I'm like, no, and as I'm playing songs, the people in the chat were like, nope, nope, not this one, nope. And then all of a sudden everyone's like, wait, that one, that fits. And they actually saw how I would hit
That's
play in the
interesting.
browser and hit play in my timeline, and kind of speed up the timeline, because I usually do time remapping with certain bits.
Sure.
And we find music that fits the tone of the footage, and every episode is different. It's really weird. And but that was a really fun a really fun experience, showing that and sharing my creative process with my audience.
So much of editing is feeling and rhythm. And I don't know if you're familiar with Walter Murch, but he's a huge
I'm not.
editor. If there was ever a celebrity editor, Walter Murch was him. He worked a whole lot of Steven Spielberg stuff. I can't quote him off the top of my tongue as far as what he's done. I want to say oh man, I don't have it in front of me, so I don't want to say the wrong stuff. But he's just a genius editor, right? And he doesn't sit; he stands when he edits all of his stuff, because he's always all over the place. And he referred to editing kind of like being a Western gunslinger and feeling the emotion. And when you're looking ahead and you're looking at the other person, and you're feeling the rhythm of the music, and you're looking at the image itself, you know when the cut based on feeling, okay? So feel it with the music. You could close your eyes, you could feel the beat, you know where the cut is, right? And then add that in.
Right.
And editing is such an it's an undervalued skill. I think so, and that's where it needs to be benefited. That's where people need to appreciate too. That the editor is so important, so much on the level as the director, and I don't know. That's just how I feel.
Okay, so I'm getting. Let's all change the topic because this one is very sad and deep. I will be drawn.
Oh boy, I do that sometimes.
we've hit a moment. We've hit something there.
Let's talk about fidget spinners.
Okay, well, mine's in the other room. This is actually really funny. So I think I mentioned in our chat that I had to defend fidget spinners to one of my friends. She had posted this thing on Instagram that had a drawing of the fidget spinner and said, "This too shall pass." So I was like, "What's that?" "It's your fidget spinner." "Well, what's a fidget spinner?" "Oh, it's just some stupid toy. I don't understand it." Yeah, she just got my fidget spinner. And so I saw her on Thursday night, and here, let me see this real quick. And so I pulled it out of my pocket, and I just did this to her. She's like, is that a fidget spinner?" I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "Can I see it?" Because I had actually told her in the chat, I was like, "It's not a toy." Because she said, "Oh, it's just some stupid toy." I'm like, "It's not a toy." She's like, "Well, what is it?" I'm like, it's a tool. It's, for relieving stress, and, like people with like autism and stuff are like kind of calming down with it. And, it just, and I'm like, and I pull it out. There's a meeting at work where I'm not allowed to pull out my phone because I got to pay attention, but I'm only speaking for like 30 seconds. And it's like a 20-minute meeting. And so I've been pulling out my fidget spinner and just playing with it, so I'm not tempted to like, where's my phone? Because I'm just
bored. No, I can relate, dude.
So I gave it to her. She starts spinning it. She goes, "I think I need to get one of these."
This is glorious. Okay, we're getting some interest in chat. This is great. This is great talk.
Okay, what's
Good talk,
going on
Russ.
here?
That's Maggie.
No,
this is interesting. Fidget spinners are interesting.
That's Maggie. Remember her?
Okay, yeah, I think I do.
Hi, Maggie. I love you.
Oh my
See,
goodness
this is
gracious.
crossover community. I'm now getting Bree's community into my chat. Maggie, make sure that you subscribe and like this video. Thank you very much.
Oh, and I'm making a video, and it's just the vlogs, and not a video. You know what I mean, because you guys are smarter than me.
Yeah, so you guys in chat, you gotta throw some love over to Aaron. Let's get him at 600 subs. By the end of this chat, we got about we got a few more minutes left, but
I kind of want to quit my job and just go like live 24/7 and say road to 1,000, and just like keep live streaming until I hit the 1,000. The 1,000 subscribers is not going to pay my rent. So I don't know what my end goal with that is. I just want to quit my job.
Aaron, I've got it I've got it figured out. All you have to do is just find a place to sleep, and then get a laptop, and then go to Starbucks and just be at Starbucks all day long. Give away fidget spinners like 24/7, dude. Just give away those fidget spinners.
And maybe the grand prize at the end, I could give away my dog.
Or me. I'm prettier.
Oh no! You're so much more worth that. Oh, please, Bree, no.
That there are rules about child slavery.
A little bit. There's a couple. I was in the live stream the other night, and they're like, "Oh, John, you should give away your hat." Everyone's like, "Nice hat." I'm like, "Dude, do you know how old and like nasty this hat is? You don't want this hat. This is nasty. It's like a sweaty hat."
I told this story in chat the other day, but a few years ago, I was emceeing this networking event, and I was like, "All right, for Lent this year, I'm giving up my virginity."
Whoa!
And the funny thing is in that period.
In the background. Whoa!
The funny thing is in that Lent period was actually when I did give up my virginity. So it was like later on, I'm like, oh my god, I really did.
Breeze out of the room.
And that was why I told that story.
And she's gone. Great. She's gonna go find another fidget spinner to fidget away all of her troubles.
She's got her fidget spinner somewhere.
No, I left it at the house.
Oh, she wants to show off her shoes now.
Dang, there's one more turn on. I can't find that button.
Oh my gosh, I want shoes like that. I have horrible shoes. I need to get new shoes. I'm so broke at the moment.
Hey, you know,
Shoes.
perhaps Justin should get a pair of these shoes and wear these while he's riding his light up boosted board.
No, you know what he needs to do? He needs to get Justin. I don't know if you're still here or not. I don't think he is. But you need to get a pair of some Nike Air Mags from Back to the Future 2, and you need to ride on that boosted board, and you need to vlog that, and that's like, you want some views, you want subs, baby? Oh, that'll do it. It'd be expensive. Swoozy, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Swoozy, but another YouTuber I follow. Fantastic. He's a great storyteller, and his persona on screen is just on point. He delivers his value proposition to a T, and he's got some of those Nike Air Mags, and I'm like, my jaw drops every time I see them because I want them so badly. Anyways.
So thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's Air Mags.
I know. It's swears to be human. I think that's not how it goes, but whatever.
So,
I tried.
Everyone in chat, do you guys have any questions for us? Any topics you'd like us to discuss before we wind down?
Yes.
Yeah, let's get some Q&A. Come on. Don't be shy now. Don't be shy, Meow.
Bree, what is your question?
Meow?
Why am I so awesome?
Bree wants to know why she is so awesome. John, I'm going to let you handle that.
I got it. She was born that way. That's all.
You were born that way. That's all.
Well, duh. Talk about
Done.
how awesome
Next, yeah. Anyone else? I think this. Well, we got to let the slight delay come in.
There's a slight delay, but it's okay. I like turtles.
You like turtles?
So do I.
I like turtles. Oh, Aaron, how do you buy a drone?
How do you buy a drone? You go to DJI.com. You pay a lot of money, and then you just sit there and wait for weeks and weeks and weeks until they finally deliver it. That's at least presuming you're wanting the most popular Mavic drone that everyone else in the world has ordered, and they're all getting it at once, and they've completely mismanaged their supply chain and delayed it. Yeah, that was my experience. And then you get your drone, you charge it up, you take it out, you fly it, and then you bring it back home, and you take it off in your dining room or your kitchen, and you crash it into your refrigerator like I did. You break the gimbal. You
this
send
is very
it back,
specific.
You send it back to DJI, and they send you a new one in another week. That was my experience buying a drone.
I flew one in a tree. How to get it out?
Luckily, that was a little less of a more expensive one.
What you can do if you don't have a drone, you can invest in a GoPro, right? So get yourself a GoPro. Yeah. Wrap it up in the plastic housing. Make sure it's secured, right? Go outside. Go into a field, right? Make sure nobody else is around. Take it in your hand, right? And take all your strength and throw it up in the air and hope for the best shot possible.
Oh, wait a minute.
And that is the pro man's drone.
Where did I see? I saw someone did a video where here, Bree, hold on real quick. They took their GoPro, which I've got mine here. So they took their GoPro or their camera, they tied a string around it, and they just spun the string around. Where did I see that? I saw that and it was
Casey
so
did that
cool.
once.
You're right. It was a Casey video. Duh.
I think Casey did that once.
Yeah, and I think he got it from someone else. Duh. Yeah, you're right. It was totally a Casey. I kind of want to do something like that. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, just experiment, man. You know, experimenting is the name of the game. Oh, Drew's got some interesting questions over there.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
I prefer
Uh,
fish.
Dogs are
you
awesome.
prefer fish?
Fish.
Fluorescent
No.
or LED? LED, absolutely. I love LED lights. That's what,
LED for
this
shizzle.
light that's right
For
here
shizzle.
is my my Loom Cube is lighting this scene up here. Over or under?
That's not appropriate, Drew. How dare you?
Top or bottom? Bottom.
Ew.
You don't even
I've
know
never-
what we're talking about.
I hope it's not.
Oh boy. I've never been to India, so I can't comment on India. Cats plus dogs equals fish. Oh boy.
I look awesome.
All right. She's taking selfies using the reflection of my mom.
No, this is a reflection of this camera.
All right.
She's
Well,
doing duck face.
yeah, she is doing duck face. So I think if no one else has anything for us to discuss, I guess this is.
Wait, I want to show them my picture. People, if you can't see, look at my awesomely picture on Instagram. I look
Oh my
so
gosh,
cute.
that's supertoadsawesome.com.
That's supertoastawesome.com.
Look, here's me and Maggie at Walmart.
Okay.
Hi, Maggie.
This is me at Walmart. This is me at Jewel. This is me at Costco. This is me loading gas in my car. I like
You
to
know,
be here.
What time
I
is
kind
it?
of need to borrow Justin's
thing.
studio where, you know, he's got the little like recording light on the outside door. I look like a WWE superstar. What?
Can you at least have an intro video everywhere you walk, Aaron, if you're going to be a WWE superstar? It's Aaron in the house.
Shooty Mac face shooter just ran into the room.
Shooty Mac shoot
just
face
in
shooter.
time.
Shooty Mac shoot face shooter. Shooty Mac shoot face shooter. Wow, that's a tongue twister.
Just in time for the end of the stream.
Welcome to the end, my friend.
This is the beginning of the end, or the end of the beginning, or the end of the end, or...
Now that's too deep. Okay, people say I was deep. You just got too deep on me, Aaron. Okay?
Well,
Think
you
about
know, I thought we weren't going to talk about last weekend.
We can't. We're talking about fidget spinners and Walmart.
Fidget spinners in Walmart.
I'm going to fidget spin all my troubles away, baby.
Yeah, they finally opened a Walmart here in Burbank, actually, next to Glendale. They actually tried blocking it for the longest time because of traffic concerns. Then finally they finished a road, and now the Walmart's in there. And so we finally have a Walmart.
Congratulations. You just reached notch 1.
Ellie
We're
is
gonna go hang out at
weird
Walmart
about
for a little bit.
chains. We have a few food chains, but for the most part, we really like the one-off hole in one, hole in the wall, like Taco Plate. USA versus Russia, USA versus Pakistan. What? Turtle fights?
Oh, Cassie, I can answer your question right now. It's the same song that I wanted Drew to sing to me, to serenade to me to sleep the other night. I can be your hero, baby.
I can tell you what my theme song would be. Just give me a moment. I'm going to bring it up. No comments. No comments.
Good luck with that one.
Oh, don't worry.
Yeah.
I took my little blue pill.
What?
Yeah, Mr. DeVizzle has been spamming chat all night, and he's just super inappropriate.
Here you go. This would be my theme song. Can you hear that?
Oh, yeah. But truly, was everybody kung fu fighting? Surely, not everybody was kung fu fighting.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those kids were fast as lightning.
Cassie, this would be my theme song.
But it brought me extra timing.
Which, you know, if this song came out now, it would be considered so insensitive.
Correct. It wouldn't be PC. It would not be PC at all.
Oh, there's so many things in life aren't PC. I mean, Mac.
Indeed, indeed.
I prefer Mac anyway.
Goodness.
Cassie approves of both of our theme songs.
I can dig it. I can dig it.
There we go. Shooty likes that. So here is my theme song and biggest YouTube hit. And what's that, Matt?
Thank you.
Ujjval, I don't know if we'll be here in 4 minutes. It kind of feels like we're kind of.
Yeah, I gotta bounce. I gotta bounce.
Yeah, it's you know, that you can just kind of tell when conversations are starting to, you know, get to that end, and you're like, you know, we should just say goodbye and good night, and you know, but I'm gonna miss your face, man. I'm gonna miss your face.
Mr. Face. No, we'll definitely do it again. You know, I'll have to bring you on over on my channel, Aaron, and I really appreciate you having me here tonight. All you guys, you know, I know it's been hard staring at my face this whole time, so thank you for bearing with me and staring at this. You guys are an awesome community. Keep rallying around Aaron. I really appreciate you guys having me here tonight.
And I really appreciate you joining us. And I do want to thank everyone in the chat for joining us. Thank you again. Make sure you thumbs up this video, or like it, thumbs up it, whatever. Subscribe if you're not. I think you're all pretty good on that though. So thank you again, and we will be doing this again next week. Same Kaiser time, same Kaiser channel, 8 p.m. Monday night. I don't know exactly who the guest will be just yet, but I will try and announce that in a little bit more advance than I did this week. So stay tuned, and I will see you guys later.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.